Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. We're back on the Toyota. We got the engine and trans installed, and now we're just going back and forth through the vehicle and tightening everything up and assembling everything and getting it ready to start. Hopefully we can finish that up today. Yep. Here we are at Bullett Racing. We're picking up the old Toyota truck. This is Gary Hart of Jet Trim's original truck, and it ended up in the hand of Bullett, and now it's worn out. It's ready for a new motor overhaul, so we're gonna put a new motor in it.
New motor, I think.
Second new motor?
Gary already put one or two in it.
Yeah, 20 years ago. So, look at that. That's so nice. That's all nice and greased up. We had all this apart. Actually, I'm sorry. We got the transmission back together. We got all new seals. I'm not sure how much of this footage we got, but we're waiting on new seals for the transfer case in and out. Transfer case does not have oil. Transmission has oil. And the shifters, they turned out really nice. And then this here, I don't know if you can see this or not, but there's a dimensional cup seal down there. What do we have in there? All we had in there was this flat rubber washer. And then this is the shift bushing here. As you can see, there's not much left of it. And here's our new one. So that's quite a big difference. To quote my favorite English car show, the shifter's like stirring a bowl of porridge, right? So now it should be nice and distinct. This should feel like a brand new truck when you go to shift it. So now we're going to put the trans together. We're going to get the engine out and get it mated to the transmission so we can install the trans. So when we set the engine in, it'll fall into place. Alrighty guys, now for the fun part. We have a brand new shiny engine from LCE Engineering. They're actually here in Havasu. It's not a reman, it's actually brand new. And it wasn't much more expensive than an overhauled engine. So I'm kind of happy that this is the case, because it's going to be a lot more fun. And yes, they're in Lake Havasu City, which is really ironic because I ordered parts from them for a Toyota pickup I had back in the 90s. So when I first moved here, I was like, oh, I got to go work for LC. So I spent a little time there when I first moved here porting heads for them. So it was a good time. They do good work. So anyway, you can see there's LCE everywhere on this thing. This is a really cool engine. So anyway, we're going to start getting this stuff. We're going to get the clutch prepared and the flywheel. We'll get everything back here assessed, and we'll get it ready to mate with the transmission. So we'll get the flywheel on. Transmission's over here. So we'll get the flywheel on and all the stuff attached, and we'll be ready to go. Alrighty. I don't even know what's in here, so I haven't even opened it up yet. I thought it was just a clutch, but it feels like it might be a flywheel too. It's paper. How about that? Oh yeah, oh yeah. Actually, it's just a flywheel. Huh. All right, we got a brand new flywheel from LC as well. Let's go see. Alrighty, calls for 80 foot-pounds, guys, which is some serious torque. Okay, looks like we got a brand shiny new clutch here, and it comes with a Nachi bearing as well. That's a good bearing. We got the plug to line it up. We have our throwout bearing. So we're gonna open all this up here, which I'll need both hands for, and we'll get it installed. Alrighty guys, 12 to 15. We're gonna do 15 because tighter's better. Double check our plug. Perfect. What we want to do now is we want to mate the transmission to the engine. And since my crane goes this way, we want it to be parallel with it. So we'll do this here real easy. All right. That's better. We want it to do that when it's in the truck just as easily, so we do a test fit right now. So it'll make it real easy to do when we put it back together.
Sure it will.
Oh sure, now you show up.
Why are you test fitting that? That's a McLeod. That's not a McLeod. What is that? Center Force?
I don't know. No, it's LCE, whatever it is.
LCE Engineering.
Yeah. Woo! It must be dinner time, guys, so we're gonna have to wait on this.
Looks like big money. It says Rusty right on it. No
It
oil.
does, right?
That ought to be in my Celica.
Dude, that would be way better in your Celica.
Just slip and slide. Put that in the
We can
And
change the valve
stick shift.
cover.
And the stick shift.
And the stick shift. Oh yeah, but you don't want a four-wheel drive Celica?
Whatever.
That'd be cool.
Two-wheel drive it.
All right, guys, we'll catch you after dinner. Guys, we have to take all this ugly old stuff off and clean it up somehow. And move it over to the new engine. So, shouldn't be a big deal, right? Alrighty guys, we're under the truck here. Transmission is in, kind of. It's mounted and it's loosely bolted up. As you can see, we're not totally tightened up here. We're not bolted up there. The shifter is kind of a nightmare. I really didn't enjoy doing the shifter. You guys saw me struggling with it. The battery died, I apologize. That just means one thing. I'm taking way too long to do this stuff. 30 years ago when I was a line mechanic at Toyota, I used to know all the secrets and shortcuts, and for some reason, they've escaped. I've not been able to hold on to those in memory all these years later. So I struggled with the gear shifter, but I was able to get it installed and everything without losing the washers, which was a major bonus. And then that's all tightened up, the shifter, and the shifter works. Both of them do, the four-wheel drive as well. We're waiting on the clutch boot here, clutch fork boot, and we're waiting on the front transfer case seal, which is very frustrating. But we're gonna go ahead and get the engine installed. So. We got everything steam cleaned and organized and sorted, and we have our hole in the firewall up here where the electrical for the ECU goes through, the fuel injection. We have our coolant lines ready to go. We have our vacuum line ready to go. Power steering, we're gonna have to replace all the power steering lines, but we'll do that as we assemble. But for the most part, we're ready to go. You can see we got the fuel injection transferred over to the new engine. Motor mounts, all the gauges, our pulley mounts and such. Everything's all mounted, ready to go. We still don't have oil in it, but everything else looks really good. Got our clutch installed, and hopefully our clutch is lined up. It should just slip into place because we test fitted it. And then we got our coolant lines here. So what the gist of it's going to be is we're going to lift this up, put on the hoist over here, or the gantry crane, and we'll slide it over this direction. And we're going to set it down here. Excuse me. So we're going to set it down here, forward of everything. So then we'll roll the truck forward into place. And as we get close, once we get the truck where we want it to be, we'll jack the transmission up so that the mating surfaces match. And it should be, I know it's not going to be simple, but that's pretty much the gist of it. That went easier than anticipated. I don't know if you guys can see or not. Let's see here. The exhaust side is a little clearer. You can see it's all in place there. We just gotta, we'll pull the transmission, we'll pull that little gap in the transmission and engine tight before we get too far ahead of ourselves. But as you can see, there's plenty of room to work around everywhere. So it's gonna work really well. We got a throttle cable here. Actually, yeah, it wraps around here anyway, so we'll leave it there. But yeah, we'll move forward here. At least we can pull forward. And as you can see, we're at the back of my shop with this gantry crane here. I gotta pull forward so I can pull my jet skis back in and get it out of the 126-degree heat. Alrighty guys, we got a lot done this week. And unfortunately we didn't get it to the point where we can start it and drive it, but hopefully next week we'll get that accomplished. So until next time, thanks for watching.